Okay, this is the deepest I've ever dug with this. I think I can get another foot or so, but this is pretty deep. And I think this is, I'm not gonna square it up, or I'm not gonna, try to make it perfect square or perfect trench or whatever. This just needs to be a hole that I can dump ash in. So what I'm gonna do is probably back up that way or drive forward that way and then cut a shallower and shallower trench just in case some animal comes running along and jumps in here and it can get out then. We have coyotes and foxes and raccoons and rabbits, of course. So yeah, I want them to be able to get out. I'll probably go ahead and put some flags on the corners as well. Nobody comes out here. I'm protected on like 3 sides here, so, and my land's the other entrance, so no, I don't think anybody's ever going to come back here and fall in it, but I do want to go ahead and mark it and flag it just so if anybody is walking across my property or horses coming across it. We do have elk and deer cross our property a lot as well, so the elk destroyed my 90 trees I planted a few years ago, and we see deer tracks, and we see deer on the property once in a while, so if anything like that falls in, we'll just put a flag around it. I'll put some stakes in the ground, I'll put some tape around it, and then we'll put just an escape route that way. So I'll go ahead and dig that escape route that direction, so if something does fall in, they can get out easy. This is big enough. It's not perfectly square, it's not a perfect trench like I was envisioning in my mind, and that's okay. I just need to be able to dump ashes in it and then cover it up. This is plenty deep though. I think the ashes, even if we dump hot ashes in here, they'll stay down in the bottom, even if the wind's blowing, that shouldn't pick them up. That's one reason I wanted to keep it narrower. I made it a little wider than I wanted it to, than I initially wanted to, just because I was having fun digging. But the bottom line is I should have kept it a little bit narrower, I think. That way when the wind blows over the top, it won't pick up, burning embers. The plan is to have all the embers out anyway, but I'm always worried about what if, the fireplace, there's still something burning in there, even though we haven't burned for a day or two and we're emptying the ashes. Something could blow out of here. This is the pile of dirt, and even with the backhoe, bringing the backhoe up in the bucket and then extending the bucket and pushing the dirt out here as far as I can, you can see how the pile got pushed this way instead of the pile building and falling this direction. So if you've watched my backhoe skills video, I do talk about this, where when you're dumping your dirt, just get in the habit of pushing the top of the dirt pile far as you can. Just keep pushing it, pushing it, pushing it, pushing it. Every time you dump dirt, don't just dump dirt on the top so it's spilling down both sides. Try to dump dirt and push dirt so it's pushing off this way, so it's not falling back against your tractor wheel and building up against your tractor and falling back in your hole. So especially when you're digging a big hole like this, if you're digging a narrow trench and even if it's deep but it's narrow, this is kind of deep but it's also kind of wide, so I knew I'd have a big dirt pile. I wanted to try to keep as much on this side as possible in case I need to come get some dirt from this for a project I'm doing on the property, or also when I have to go refill it. So good, let's get that rescue trench dug, and then I'll go ahead and flag it. All right, let's see if we can get down this little ramp I made. If I can get down it, I think a 4-legged animal can get up it. Always make sure if your tractor's running, your backhoe's anchored on the ground, so if a hydraulic line does give, it won't kill you. Here's the trench. And it's, 24 inches wide. Let's see if I can get down there. Yeah, it's kind of steep. The shoes are full of dirt now. But, let's see. I'm 5'8", so this is only about 7 feet deep. Now that it's backfilled a lot with this dirt. But I think this will be a good enough ramp. If something falls in here, they can run right out. Right up that side. Good. Well, the geography is interesting here to me. There's definitely a silt layer on top. There's kind of a sand layer, a little bit of sand layer down to here. This is clay, and this is a solid clay layer from there to there. That's 9, 18, 27, almost 3 feet of clay right there. And then, so silt, sand, clay, and then it starts sand again. And this is kind of gravelly down here. That's neat. It's the clay that I want to dig for my pond so that I can spread the clay out in the bottom of the pond to kind of help seal the water in. Okay, good. Let's see if I can climb back up here. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, getting old. That should do the job.
Okay. It's breezier than I want it to be, but it's the least windy it's been in the past 2 or 3 months. So I'm trying to get all these ashes taken out of the incinerator. It was full of ashes all the way up to the bottom edge there. And so I lifted my grate up, scraped out the middle here and here. You can see I had some spillover. I'll have to scoop up with the shovel. And then reached in with a little hoe and drug it out here to the middle on both sides from underneath. And then into a pile there, and then scraped it out here onto this and into the bucket. Now I'll be able to haul it out and dump it in the ash pit. I really thought this would be like 2 buckets full, but this is like a half a bucket full. So I guess some of them blew away, you know, not a ton of it, but some of it did blow away. And so we'll get this scooped up, get it in here, and we'll go dump it in the ash pit. Took about 10 minutes, but next time I'm gonna wear boots and not shoes because I am covered in ashes from my knees down. So. And this little cement rake, I think is what this thing is. I love this thing. I use it for all kinds of stuff, from gravel to dirt to now ashes. Yeah. Okay, good. That was pretty easy. Most of the ash should stay down there. I guess some of the dust is going to blow out, but it's pretty far from the house. There's no hot ashes in there. That's good. We haven't burned in that burn chamber for 2 weeks, so I feel very confident in dumping this here. But it is, you know, 8 feet down, 9 feet down, so most of the wind that blows across shouldn't pick up the majority of those. And when it rains, it'll just kind of compact and settle in there. Some dust will blow in there and kind of keep on top of it. So hopefully this will work out good. And in the winter, this will be where I'll dump my fireplace ashes from our wood stove. So that'll be nice as well.